Hello. Hi. How we doing? I'm so hyper. I'm so hyper. Can you tell that I'm only just kind of little bit tiny bit forcing it? So I need so much energy for this fucking stream. I just woke up. Hi. Hello Kronos. Hello Helix. Hello there Clockwork. Welcome in. Unknown Ranger, I see you over there. Mwah. Welcome in. And Jay Dudley, thank you so much for stopping by again. Hi. And then we got the 3 different common accounts in chat. Hi Carmen, how's my favorite rabbit? Nice outfit. Thank you. I am doing amazing. 5 stream watch streak. Thank you so much, Clockwork and Helix. I see you over there. Thank you so much for upkeeping your watch streak as well. It's quite late. Just wanted to say hello before heading to bed. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for stopping by, Kronos. Oh my god, water. Thank you so much for stopping by, Kronos. I appreciate it. I'm both so ready and not ready for today's stream. Today's gonna be one hell of a stream because it is the first stream back for Project Apothecary, and I am so ready, and I almost forgot how much I hate waking up at 9 a.m. in the morning for a stream. But that's neither here nor there. I see them fucking threatening. Have a great stream, everyone. Come and have fun with Project Apothecary. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, I'm so excited. Never been there for a previous Apothecary Pro. That's all good. It's a lot of fun, and honestly, if it's late at night for you, it is really nice to fall asleep to, because it is just voice acting. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna sit here. We're gonna voice act 5 chapters today. Usually it's 6, but I couldn't be fucked writing the 6th chapter because I was very tired when I was making these chapters. So I said, fuck it, we're doing 5 this week. But other than that, it'll go great. I cannot wait. Yeah! I hope you guys are ready. Hello. Chilled. Hi. Welcome in. I have missed the Apothecary Diaries podcast, and they are back. They're back right before the New Year's as well. Wait, is Project Apothecary a homebrewed story from you? No. What Project Apothecary is, for those who are new here, is I take the web novel of Apothecary Diaries, which is a web novel, light novel, and manga, and also anime, but we are taking specifically the web novel, and I get a bunch of my lovely VAs, as you can see down here, to voice the different characters and narrate the chapters with me. It's a bunch of fun. There is supposed to be some new content being edited together, but I'm missing a couple things from I'm watching the anime right now, just saying, yeah! I hope you enjoy it. It's so much fun. I absolutely love it. It's so good. But yeah, how about we I unmute, undeafen, and let you guys say hi to the voice actors. That's the one. So what you're saying is volume up? Absolutely. You better be, otherwise I will be so sad. I enjoyed it so much so far. I actually put a name tag with a black. Ooh. Okay, let me unmute. Also, Rose, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Hi. Welcome in. You are in for a very interesting stream today, as it's a little different to my usual streams, but I do this once every week, as I love voice acting and getting together with some voice acting buddies of mine. But without further ado, hi.
Yeah, 3.
Yay!
Woo!
How are y'all doing?
We do be here.
Going good.
Good. You
Hello.
guys sound so energized.
Yes.
Sorry, I am full of tea and snacks.
You're hungry.
I'm eepy.
Oh, I don't have any snacks. No, I don't have any chips. What am I gonna do?
Ooh,
No, chips on
it's
the
a
mic.
dangerous game to be
no.
played.
It is a dangerous game.
Voice acting.
Crunch.
The nice
Af-
salty chips and the crunch.
After voicing Liban Kotos for fucking Studio Reverie, oh, those chips have been a godsend, and I don't have them.
That's unfortunate.
It
Misery.
is. I have just noticed a very small packet of chips on my desk, but that's neither here nor
A
there.
glimmer of hope.
It's like,
You manifested it.
Chips staring at me.
I heard you need chips. Hello, hi. Peeking out from behind is like, hi, I'm here for you.
With that being said, let's get started with introductions, starting with Ash.
Hello, I am Ash. I think I'm just voicing, Guen. So I have 3 lines.
Yay!
Woo!
Let's go!
I'm Shi. I'm doing Jinshi again, like I always do.
That's our guy.
Oh.
That's our guy. That's
So
Jinshi.
Jinshi.
That's definitely not Malma's romantic partner. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no feelings there.
No.
I mean, she hates him.
She hates him. We don't talk about the frog. Anyway, hi. My name's Carmen. If you don't know me, I am a bunny VTuber voice actor, as well as the owner of the Bloomkeeper Bar Flower Shop. Welcome in. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. Today I'm going to be voicing Mao as usual, and also Shaolan. I love Shaolan. I just want to grab her, and cuteness aggression is real, guys.
It is.
Next up is Mitch.
Hello, I'm Mitch. I'm going to be voicing Liaku and Lumen. The thing is also that this is my first time doing it live, so this is going to be interesting. I hope I don't wake up the neighbors, but you know what? If they wake up, I hope they enjoy it.
Yes.
They
A late
better.
holiday gift to them.
Exactly.
They can join the stream next time.
Hell yeah! No, they will join midway.
Yeah, just leave a note with a link.
I'll just send it in the WhatsApp. It'll be fine. Don't worry.
Next up is Sack.
Hello. I'm Zach. I'm gonna be voicing Gao Shun today with his full of energy and wisdom character and his good vibes.
Yeah.
Only good vibes.
But last but definitely not least.
Hello, it is Tealdi. I am here today to voice Gyokyo, Madam. Whiny Lishu! And also do some narrating.
Yeah.
As I do.
As you do. Can never escape the mines.
Nope.
Studio Reverie was like, "Oh, you want to be done? Nah, we got another project for you."
Oh, that's
Have fun.
adorable. Get back in there.
Get back in the basement.
You want to see the sun? Oh, that's sweet.
Who needs sunlight? Get back in the basement.
Yeah,
Some
shackled to the booth.
I gave you that light bulb.
Yeah. It helps a little.
A little.
A little.
At least you can see your reflection now.
Ugh. That's less helpful.
Today is so much more calm compared to the last stream. I feel like last stream we were all fucking like just delusional.
Everyone was just out of it.
It was fun though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
With that being said, is everyone ready to start narrating and voice acting and
Existing?
yeah!
Yay!
Woo! That's my favorite part of living.
Yes. I love existing. It's where I spend all my time. Alrighty. Alright, well, if everyone's ready, we can get this show on the road.
Hi. And by everyone, I mean you and me, TLD. We got it.
Yes. Dream team, we got this. Alright.
And it was coming up. It was
Chapter 25, Lahaku. That poisoning incident turned out to be rather serious. Jalan came to ask Mau Mau with rancor. The back of the laundry shed was the maidservants' gossip spot. They were sitting on the wooden boxes there, eating hawthorn that was lined up like dango.
There's probably no way that she would think that I'm related to the incident.
The image of Xiaolan stuffing her cheeks with hawthorn while swinging her legs made her look younger than she was.
It was an attendant from Mau Mau's place, right? The one who eats poison? I guess so. I
Mau
only...
Mau's-
Oh,
Sorry.
you're all good. I only just heard that there was that kind of person, but I don't know anything else. Is she okay? I guess so.
Mau Mau skirted the topic again, somehow feeling very uncomfortable about it. Xiaolan, at a loss for what to do, pouted. Xiaolan swung her skewer that had one piece of hawthorn left. It looked like a blood-red koroball kanzashi.
Well then, did you get did you get any kansashi and stuff? I guess.
Four in all, including those out of obligation. She also included Consort Gyokyo's necklace.
How nice. I guess you'll be leaving here then. What did you just say? Huh? Aren't you going to leave?
Yinghua had been saying it insistently. Mau Mau was the one who had brushed her off herself. I made a mistake. She clutched her head. She shook her head as she fell into self-hatred.
What's wrong?
She looked at Xiaolan, who gazed at her dubiously.
Tell me everything about that.
Xiaolan puffed out her chest at the sight of an unusually motivated Mau Mau,
Okay, will do.
and the talkative girl taught Mau Mau how to use the kanzashi. Lahaku was summoned after his training. As he wiped his sweat, he handed his edgeless sword to his subordinate. A delicate eunuch handed a bamboo sling and a woman's kanzashi to him. It was one of the kanzashi among the several he handed out before, a kanzashi decorated with peach-colored coral. He didn't think anyone would take it seriously, knowing that it was out of obligation. But it turns out it wasn't the case. It would be bad to embarrass her, but it was also troubling to actually go through with it. However, it would be a loss for him if she was a beauty. He looked at the wooden slip as he thought of ways to gently reject her. Jade Palace Mau Mau. That was written there. He handed it out to only one of the palace ladies of the Jade Palace. It could only be that expressionless maid. Mystified, Lahaku stroked his chin as he prepared for a change of clothes. The inner palace was off limits to actual men. Lahaku, who really didn't want to be cut down, was in the obviously forbidden garden. He probably wouldn't be here after this. It would be troubling if he was. Though it was such a terrifying place, if he had special permission, he could summon a palace lady from inside. This Kanzashi was one of the ways of doing that. One of the many. Borrowing the office of the central gate, he waited for the person he summoned. The room, which wasn't really wide, had two persons' number of tables and chairs. The doors on both sides each had a eunuch standing there. A skinny, short maid appeared from the door of the inner palace side. Freckles and spots covered the area around her nose.
Who the hell are you?
I get that often.
The maid, who replied with blunt indifference, covered her nose with her palm. A face he'd seen before appeared.
Don't tell me you're disguised with makeup.
I get that often too.
He took in the truth without a look of displeasure. He got the gist of it, that she was that food taster maid. However, he just couldn't link her to that fascinating smile of a courtesan when he looked at her face that was covered in spots. It was a matter of fact that she was a mysterious person.
However, to still call me out like this, do you know the meaning of it?
He crossed his arms, crossed his legs too. As the military officer with the large build was in the middle of sitting down arrogantly, the short girl confidently spoke out.
I was thinking of returning to home.
She said without any strong feeling. Lahaku scratched his head.
And you want me to help?
That's right. If you can guarantee my identity, I heard it is possible for me to return home for a short time.
She had voiced something unexpected. He wanted to ask her, do you know the original meaning behind it? No matter. It seems this girl called Mau Mau was using him to go home. It wasn't to capture the military officer. Maybe she was bold. Maybe she was reckless. Lahaku snorted, hands on his chin. It could be said that his behavior was bad. He didn't feel like correcting it.
The hell? Are you saying that I'm going to be used by a lass?
Lahaku was a nice guy, but he made a scary face when he scowled. The type of face that, when he rebuked a slackening subordinate, would reduce them to the point of even apologizing for something they were unrelated to. And yet, her brows barely twitched. She only gazed at him expressionlessly.
No, I only want to give thanks to these people.
Mama placed a tied-up bundle of wooden slips on the table. They looked like letters of introduction.
Mei, Pairin, Joka.
Names of women that Lahaku had heard of before. No, a lot of other men besides Lahaku should know these names.
You mean to see the flowers of Rokushakan?
That was the name of the high-class brothel that exhausts 1 year's worth of silver in a single night. The names just then were the popular figures known as the Three Princesses.
If you roared, you'll understand if you see this.
The girl smiled at him with only a curve in her lips.
You're joking?
As you can verify.
It was something completely unbelievable. At best, it was difficult to think that a maid of such caliber had a connection with a brothel that even high-class bureaucrats won't touch. What was this supposed to mean? When he scratched his head again from the incomprehensibility of it, the girl suddenly sighed and stood up.
What are you doing?
It doesn't look like you believe me. We're wasting time.
She smoothly took out something from her bosom pocket. 2 kanzashi. They were made of red crystal and silver.
I sincerely apologize for wasting your time. I have others.
Wait.
He grabbed the wooden slips to try to snatch them away. Mau Mau, expressionless, looked at Lihaku.
What would it be?
He thought he lost.
Isn't that great, Gyokyo-sama?
Hanyan was looking at Mau Mau from the gap of the door. Her demeanor was better than usual. She was packing cheerfully. It was strange, as the person herself wasn't usually like this. Well, it's only 3 days.
I guess so.
The head attendant held up the imperial princess, who was using her as a standing support. She absolutely doesn't understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other maids were telling congratulations to Mau Mau, but the person herself didn't seem to understand. She replied with a carefree,
I'll buy souvenirs.
Consort Gyokyo was standing by the window, gazing out. Good grief, that child is the pitiable one. She sighed deeply, but a mischievous smile arose. It was the day after Mau Mau's departure when Jinchi, who finally became a leisurely person after finishing his work, visited the Jade Palace. Chapter 26. Homecoming. I want to go back. I want to go back. The pleasure district she repeatedly mentioned wasn't that far away. The size of one of the inner palace was no different from a town, but it was completely surrounded by the royal capital. The pleasure district was on the opposite end to the imperial court. If you crossed the high wall and deep moat, it was within walking distance.
Even though it's a luxury to go by carriage.
Lihaku, the big man sitting beside her, was humming as he held the horse's reins. He had taken her words as truth and passed over the wooden slips, so he could meet the courtesans he yearned for. Was it that sort of thing? Those you call courtesans should not be all counted as the same. If there were those who sold their bodies, there were those who sold their art. Those called favors do not accept a lot of customers. Their value increases because of that. Just drinking a cup of tea with them will cost silvers. The price was even more unreasonable for sleeping and the like. These kind of revered existences became a type of idol and were admired by the townspeople. There were even those among the town girls who admired them and knocked on the gates of the red light district, even though those that become that were few in between. The Roku Shokan was well established even within the imperial capital's pleasure district. It holds a selection of middle to the highest class courtesans. The ones who Mau Mau called older sisters were among the top class. She could see the nostalgic scenery from the noisily rocking carriage. The fragrant aroma from the grilled skewer stall she had wanted to eat spread across the street. Willow trees swaying along the waterway. The rising voices of firewood vendors. When they passed through the magnificent gate, a world covered in rich colors spread out. It was still daytime. There were few people walking about, but prostitutes with free time waved their hands from the handrails on the second floor. The horse carriage stopped in front of a rokaku with a large, conspicuous gate. Mau Mau rushed over to the old woman standing by the entrance the moment she lightly descended from the horse-drawn carriage.
It's been a while, Gran.
She said to the skinny woman who was biting on a pipe. A long time ago, she had been a courtesan said to have tears of pearl. Nowadays, she became wizened like a dead tree. Her tears had dried up completely. She also refused her redeeming and continued to work even after her term of service ended. Now she became a madam who everyone was afraid of. Time was cruel.
What? It's been a while? You foolish girl.
The crone punched a fist through the pit of her stomach. It was mysterious that Mau Mau thought that even the taste of her mouth souring from the regurgitation of gastric juices was nostalgic. How many times in the past did she vomit back out excessive poison like this? Lahaku, who was a good person at heart, stroked Mau Mau's back while not understanding what was going on. His face said, "The hell is with this hag?" Mau Mau covered the polluted ground with dirt using her toes. Lahaku, who was next to her, looked at her in concern. Is this the honored guest? The crone appraised Lahaku with her eye. The carriage was entrusted to the shop's manservant. Good physique. Looks are also handsome. Doesn't he look like an up-and-coming type that people talk about?
Gran, what are you trying to say by saying that in front of the person?
The madam feigned ignorance and called for a Komuro who was sweeping before the gate. Call for pardon. She's grinding tea today.
Aaron.
Lahaku swallowed audibly. That was the courtesan whose name was known as a talented dancer. For the sake of Lahaku's honor, it should be said that this wasn't a simple lust for simple courtesan, but rather thoughts of longing. It was an honor for him, even if it was just sitting together for tea, to meet the idol from above the clouds with his own eyes.
Chan. It might actually be possible. Lihaku-sama.
Mau Mau nudged the large man who was engrossed in thoughts.
Do you have confidence in your biceps?
I train my body, but I'm not too sure.
Is that so? Please do well.
The large man, his head tilted, left following the little girl. Mau Mau was grateful that he brought her along up to this point. Of course, she meant to give back something suitable in return. That dream of one night would become the memory of a lifetime. Mau Mau. The owner of the hoarse voice made a terrifying smile. You disappeared without contact for 10 months.
It can't be helped. I was working at the Inner Palace.
The general explanation was written on the wooden slip. Although I'll reject at a glance, I'll look after him just this time.
I know already.
Mau Mau took out a bag from her bosom. It was half of the wages she earned from the Inner Palace up until now. This amount won't be enough.
Of course not. I didn't think you would call out Chan.
She had brought enough money expecting a night of blissful dreams with a high-class courtesan for him. Even Lahaku would be satisfied with just a glance of the three princesses.
Wouldn't that just barely be insufficient for a seat of tea, for tea?
Fool. With those strong arms, there's no way Perrin would do nothing.
I knew it.
Though it can be said that the top-class courtesans don't sell their body, it doesn't mean that they won't fall in love. Well, it's something like that.
That would be what they call an act of God.
Don't be silly. I'll put it properly on your tab.
I said I can't pay for it. Even if I add in the rest, it won't be enough, no matter how much I think.
Mau Mau was deep in thought. No matter how she looked at it, it was a pretext. What are you saying? At worst, you can just use your body to pay for it. You'll just be transferred from the Emperor to a brothel. It won't be any different. There are dilettantes who are fond of even defective goods like you. For these couple of years, the crone had been excessively recommending Mau Mau to become a courtesan. She, who had devoted her entire life to the pleasure district, had never thought that prostitution was a career of misfortune.
I still have 1 year left on my term of service, though.
In that case, steadily send forth the honored guests. Not old geezers, but those we can moderately exploit for a long time, like the one just then.
As I thought, he's being exploited.
The greedy hag only thought about money. Mama was against selling her body, so she must moderately send in sacrifices hereafter.
Could a eunuch even be a customer?
Though Jinshi's face rose to her mind, that was no good. The courtesans might become serious, and they'll go out of business. So that idea was rejected. Nonetheless, she would feel bad if it were Gyao or the quack doctor. It would be hard to get the madam to exploit them. It was truly inconvenient to not have a rendezvous point.
Mao, the geezers should be home right now, so hurry up and go.
I will.
Even if she thought deeply, she had no solution at present. Mamo escaped through the side road of the Rokushokan. The pleasure district suddenly became run down the moment she stepped out from one street. Rows of shacks, beggars collecting coins with chipped bowls. There were also streetwalkers with syphilis scars. Mao's home was one of the dilapidated shacks. In the narrow house, which only had 2 rooms of dirt floor, there was a person hunched over using the mortar, carved with deep wrinkles, soft features, a man who resembled an old woman.
I'm back, Dad.
You're late.
He greeted her normally and stumbled off to prepare tea as if nothing happened. She accepted the tea that had been prepared in a teacup. She told him bits and pieces of everything that had happened until now, and her dad only replied with sounds of listening. After she had porridge, which had an enormously increased portion of medicinal herbs and taro, for dinner, she decided to sleep. She would take a bath from the hot water she would receive from the Rokushokan tomorrow. She curled up in a simple bed that was just a straw mat laid out on the dirt floor. Her dad piled clothes on her and grounded the mortar tirelessly like a stove fire.
The inner palace, huh? It must be fate.
The words her dad muttered faded away amid her sleepiness. Chapter 27. Misunderstanding. The 3 days of her homecoming passed by in a blink of an eye. From meeting the people she missed, her feeling of wanting it to always remain like this was strong. But there was no way for her to resign from her job in the inner palace, so she had no choice but to again trouble Lihaku, her identity guarantor, to return. Above all, her back was being pressured by the madam, who was wondering what kind of sadist Mao's first sale came out as.
It looks like he had a good dream.
Seeing an excessively glowing Parlin-Nechan and Lihaku, whose eyes were sagged in the corners, changed into a honeyed apricot, she regretted that she overpaid her reward to him. As a result, the next person to sell her body was determined. Well, she somewhat sympathized with Lihaku, who, having known of heavenly nectar once, will come to find the ones on earth unpalatable. The madam will surely make a killing off him. Beyond that was not Mao's responsibility. And so, she was going to return to the Jade Palace with her souvenirs, but there was a celestial maiden-like young man who was cloaked in an excessively dangerous air right there. She felt an ominous, poisonous air from the direction of the gentle smile. Why was he glaring so hard at her? No matter what his character was, a beauty was a beauty. Besides, when he glared, there was an intensity to it. As it was bothersome, she only bowed her head as deep as she was required to, and headed for her own room, before he firmly grabbed her shoulders with the force of his nails digging in.
Jinchi.
I'll wait in the parlor.
A honey-like voice flowed into her ears. Honey was honey, but it was wolfsbane honey. Gaoshen, who was at the back, his eyes told her to give up. Consort Gyokyo, who looked troubled, her eyes were shining. Honyan, who was, for some reason, looking at Mao Mao with eyes of blame. The three attendants, too, were more curious than worried. Mao Mao would probably be thoroughly interrogated after this.
Just what is happening?
She put down her belongings, changed into her attendant outfit, and went to the parlor.
What do you require of me?
There was only Jinshi in the room. He was elegantly dressed in simple official attire, sitting legs crossed on a chair, elbows on the table. Somehow, she felt his attitude was worse than usual. Was it her imagination? She wanted it to be her imagination. Let's take it as imagination. There was no Gaoshen, the breath of fresh air. Consort Gyokyo was nowhere to be found. Well, in other words, they couldn't bear to stay.
It seems you had returned home.
Yes.
How was it?
Everyone was good.
Is that so?
Yes. Mm.
What kind of man was this Lee Haku guy?
Yes. He's my identity guarantor. Why the name?
He will be a regular customer from now on, an important source of income.
Do you not understand what I mean? In that sense.
Yes. He has to be a high official to be my guarantor who can properly maintain my identity.
Jinshi, for some reason, looked extremely tired. Was it because she had stated the obvious?
Did you get a kanzashi?
He distributed many of them. I received one out of obligation.
Now that she thought about it, he was generous. Though it was a simple design, it was a finely made kanzashi.
So you mean, even though you got one out of obligation, I lost?
I?
She tilted her head at the first-person pronoun she wasn't used to hearing.
Even though I gave you one too, you didn't come to me at all.
He looked sulky. Without his celestial smile, he looked about the same age as Mao Mao. Rather, he looked even younger. She admired that he was a person who can change her view of him up to now with a single expression. Turns out that Jinshi was unable to stomach the fact that she had relied on the Haku and didn't come to talk to him. How mysterious. Even though it was a given that people would be happy to not be concerned with troublesome things. Was it because that guy was a leisurely person?
I sincerely apologize. It did not occur to me that I was to give satisfactory compensation to Jinshi-sama. Would inviting a eunuch to a brothel be rude?
It may be possible to go to a place only for tea drinking and poetry recitals, and then go on to indulge in sensual affairs. It was awkward to invite people who were no longer men to a place like that. Above all, with people like Jinshi, many go out for wool and come home shorn would apply for the courtesans everywhere.
What do you mean, compensation? Did you pay this Lee Haku guy with that?
He was making a dubious face for some reason. It was an uneasy expression, combined with displeasure.
That's right. I gave him the pleasure of a dream of one night. Like this, he probably won't return to reality for a while.
Even a gallant military personnel would become a kitten when they looked at Parla-ne-chan. Would he come carrying gold coins to her from now on? She looked at Jinshi. All the blood had drained from his face. The hand holding onto the teacup was quivering.
Did the room get colder?
Mao added charcoal to the brazier and stirred the flames with a fan.
It seems he was greatly satisfied. I think I worked hard. I also need to work hard on finding new customers.
As she made a fist at her new resolve, there was the sound of a teacup shattering behind her.
What are you doing?
Shards of ceramic were scattered about. Jinshi stood up with a pale face. Clothes were soaked through with tea.
I'll bring you something to wipe it up.
She opened the door, and right there was Consort Gyokyo, was clutching her stomach in laughter. Gaoshen, with an extremely tired face. Honyan, who was struck speechless with shock. Mao, who had no idea what was going on, went to the kitchen to look for a dishcloth for the time being.
How long are you going to be irritable?
Jinshi rested his face on the table, even though he was already back in. Gaoshen sighed deeply.
Don't forget, you are in the middle of work.
I get it already.
He didn't get it. The person called Jinshi doesn't reply like a child. He doesn't get overly attached to his toys. He suffered hardship, even though we heard the details from Consort Gyokyo, who was convulsing with laughter afterward. As a collateral for undertaking her identity, the man was granted a meeting with a star he had longed for. That the girl helped in such a way was completely not what they had imagined. However, Gaoshen wondered what his master imagined. It was scary to be young. Jinshi was somewhat back to normal, but he was still disgruntled. Well, quickly finishing his work to go meet her, only to find that she returned home with an unknown man, came as a bolt out of the blue. Gaoshen had no free time to soothe children indefinitely. He placed a lacquered box on the table and took out a correspondence from the inside.
The report from a couple of days ago has finally arrived.
To look for a court lady with burn scars. It had been a month since.
That took way too long.
When he looked up, Jinshi's face returned.
I sincerely apologize.
To not make excuses. That was Gaoshen's principle.
Just who was it?
Surprisingly, it was a big shot.
He spread out the correspondence on the table.
Garnet Palace, Fengming, the Pure Consort's head attendant.
And that's the end of my narration.
Woo!
Halfway done!
We're almost there. Only
Woo!
8 more pages to go.
Yay!
Hey!
Hey, who's narrating this?
I am.
Okay.
Yes. Are we all ready to continue?
Oh,
Yes.
hold on, I need
I've
to...
got to be going, but that's it was fun to do this for the first time.
No
Excellent work.
problem.
You did great.
Yeah, you did great. Thank you
It's
so
fun
much
to
for stopping
talk with you
by.
guys. All right, have fun, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, same here. Since I just finished my lines, I've got to skedaddle to spend some time with my family.
Oh, good.
Go for it, man.
All right, have a good time, guys.
You
I'll see if
too.
I can put the stream on for my phone. Bye bye.
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 On a scale of 1 to 10, how questionable has Common been? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not questionable. What? I can't
Lies and
believe-
slander.
Only 2? That wasn't me. That was Mal Mal. That's a different person. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Who's ready for chapter 28?
Yeah.
Yes, I think I start on this one.
You do.
Yes.
All right. Here we go. Chapter 20.
Ooh, ah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. You go.
Yeah.
Ah! Ah!
Ah! We got it. We got it. Chapter 28. Other Self.
Ooh, ah. Won't the last come along with me too?
The quack doctor's shoulders were trembling when he begged her, so she considered why not. He brought her along to the front of the East Gates military station. There were several eunuchs surrounding something. Maids gathered together around them in a donut shaped. It's good that it's winter. There was a woman with a pasty face hidden under the woven mat. She had matted hair and bullish black lips. For a drowned corpse, she looked relatively nice, but it still wasn't something people would be comfortable looking at. It was truly good that it was the cold season. The quack doctor, who should be doing the autopsy, was hiding behind Mau Mau's back like a maiden. He was totally a quack. It seems the woman had been floating in the outside moat this morning. No matter how you look, with her appearance, she was surely a palace lady from the inner palace. She couldn't be dealt with properly outside, so the quack doctor was summoned, but...
Can Lass look for me instead?
No, he was looking at her with upturned eyes, his loach mustache quivering. It wasn't that she didn't know about that sort of thing. It could be thinking about, what could he be thinking about getting people to do? I can't. I've been told not to touch corpses.
That is surprising.
Saying something rude yet again was a familiar heavenly voice. Needless to say, the surrounding palace ladies raised quotish voices. It was like watching a stage play. Pleasant day to you too, Jinshi-sama. No, it wasn't anything pleasant before a corpse. Mau Mau, who looked at the lovely young man without any deep emotions as usual. Gao Shun, of course, was waiting behind him. He was a worldly wise person who was always appealing to her with his gaze.
So, sir, will you look properly for me?
Oh, I understand.
Although his face was slightly reddened, he looked at the drowned corpse reluctantly. He timidly turned over the mat cover. Palace ladies let out screams of shock from the back. It was a tall woman. She was wearing stiff wooden shoes, and the one foot that wasn't wearing it was wrapped in bandages. Her fingertips were red, nails brutally damaged. It was understood from her clothes that she was from food duty.
You look fine from seeing it.
It's a scene I'm used to. If you go a little deeper into the pristine pleasure district, you go into the lawless area. It wasn't rare to find the miserable figures of young girls who had been passed around and violated. In one perspective, you may think there wasn't a reason to enclose courtesans in a cage, but on the flip side was also to protect them so they didn't get dragged into dangers around them.
Let's hear your opinion at the back.
I understand. It must have been cold. Mau Mau, after the quack doctors finished his autopsy, politely covered the corpse with the mat, though there was no point in doing so at this time. Jinshi brought her along to the palace chief's official's room. As usual, the chief palace official was on standby outside. They avoided speaking about the corpse at the Jade Palace. And that sort of thing wasn't appropriate in a place with a baby. He might as well get his own room. She lowered her head at an elderly chief. Apologies for every single time.
The guard is under the impression that it was a suicide by drowning.
He said that she climbed the walls and threw herself off into the moat. The girl was a food duty maid servant. As expected, she had been working until yesterday. With that in consideration, she could have only jumped last night. We don't know if it was really suicide, but at least I think it was impossible for her to do this alone.
What do you mean?
Jinshi, who was sitting elegantly on the chair, asked her with a refined voice, as if he was a different person to the strangely flustered young man from the other day. There was no stairs to the castle wall.
That is true.
Can you go up with a grappling hook?
That might be impossible.
It was really hard for her to talk with him, asking like he was testing her. She wanted to tell him to stop asking every single time she spoke, but Gaoshun was watching, so she kept silent. No, there are ways to go up without using any particular tools. It should be impossible for that palace lady.
What do you mean? What ways are there?
It was during Princess Fuyo's ghost panic previously. Mau Mau had always questioned how the other woman went up the outer wall. She wasn't the type of woman to scale the wall. Due to her nature to pursue her curiosity until she understood, Mau Mau had diligently gone around looking at the castle wall. What she had found was protrusions at every respective four corners of the outer wall. By stepping on the bricks that were purposely made to protrude from the wall, it was then possible to scale the wall. It would have been easy for the Princess Fuyo, who was talented in dancing. It would be difficult for most women, much less for someone with foot binding. The woman's feet were wrapped in bandages and made to wear small wooden shoes. Her feet were crushed, bound in cloth and confined in the wooden shoes. It was a practice based on the standard that smaller feet were beautiful.
Are you saying it's a murder?
I don't know. Just that I think that we need to make sure on whether she fell into the moat when she was still alive. There was no doubt that those fingers dyed in red blood scratched the moat walls many times. She didn't want to think about what it was like inside the icy water.
Should we investigate more thoroughly?
She was troubled even with that sweet smile that cannot be refused. She couldn't do what she can't do.
My medicine teacher taught me never to touch a corpse.
Why is that? Because you dislike taboo?
Doctors come in contact with the sick and wounded. It seems he wanted to say that they will certainly have a lot of contact with dead people.
Even humans can become ingredients for medicine.
Mau Mau murmured the reason. At any rate, if you must do it, let it be your last. Her dad had told her, if you do it once, you'll be like a grave disturber. He said something that was awfully rude. She wanted to say that she had that much good sense for that. But all in all, she abided by his words. Well, it was something like that. Jinshi and Gaoshun both looked taken aback and shook their heads as though to say, I see. Gaoshun looked at her like she was a pitiful thing. That was completely rude. Mau Mau held down her shaking fists. Afterwards, that was heard from rumors. What was heard from rumors was that the dead girl was at the poisoning incident from the other day. A will that was also discovered, and the courtesans of the incident closed by saying it was suicide. In this world, even someone's speculation could become truth. Chapter 29. Honey 1. Tea parties were also a job for prominent consorts. Consort Gyakyo also performs this job almost every day. She would hold it at the Jade Palace and at other times be invited to other consorts' palaces.
A super important way to sound each other out.
Mau Mau wasn't very fond of tea parties. They would chat about the latest clothing fads and cosmetics, probing each other as they conversed about trifling things. No doubt, the microcosm of the inner palace spread from there.
And they look so gentle too. Truly consorts.
Chatting with Consort Gyakyo was a middle-ranking consort from the west. Though Mau Mau didn't know the specifics, it seems that Consort Gyakyo was from an important family, no matter their future influence. It was common for many of the other consorts to impulsively let their feelings show when they chat with the cheerful Consort Gyokyo. Writing up a note on that was one of Consort Gyokyo's jobs.
Even though she stayed up till very late last night, could it be that she can't sleep?
The emperor would visit the favored consort Gyakyo's place every 3 days. It was to see his daughter, who had started to walk with help. But, well, it goes without saying that wasn't the only reason for his visits. He would ask about various lively topics to not make light of the consort's afternoon job too. At the end of the tea party, Mau Mau received a huge amount of tea cakes from Yinghua. It wasn't that she won't eat them, but there were just too many. So she forwarded the tea cakes to Xiaolan as usual. Xiaolan, who occasionally spoke with a lisp,
talked to her about rumors, keeping her up to date as usual. It was about the maidservant who had committed suicide, her relation to the poisoning incident, and, for some reason, the pure consort.
Well, age is just a number for the four madam.
Consort Gyokyo was 19. Consort Lihua was 23. Consort Lishu was 14. Consort Aduo, the pure consort, was 35 and 1 year older than the emperor. Consort Aduo may still be able to give birth, but based on the inner palace system, she would have no choice but to be turned away from bedroom activities due to her age. In other words, it was impossible for her to become the Empress Dowager hereafter. It seems that the talks of her stepping down for a new high-ranking consort had come up. It was something that had come up quite a while ago. She had been a consort since the time the emperor was the crown prince, and had been the mother of a young Ying Huan once, so she had a considerably strong start.
Was she the mother of the male Ying Huan who had died previously?
At this rate, Consort Lihua end up the same way, having fallen pregnant with the emperor's child too. Not just that, it can't be declared that Consort Gyokyo will always continue to receive his favor. After all, beautiful flowers will someday become withered. There was no meaning for the flowers of the inner palace to be truly tied together. Although she had gotten accustomed to it, she thought that the inner palace was truly beneath the foul dredges. Mao Mao brushed off the breadcrumbs of the mooncakes she ate and looked up to the heavy clouds that covered the sky. The disposition of today's tea party companion was a little different. The companion was Consort Lishu, a member of the Four Madams, just like Consort Gyakyo. It was rare to have a tea party with a consort with the same rank, especially so for high-ranking consorts. Consort Lishu, with her youthful looks, was nervous. She had brought along 4 attendants with her. That food taster was also there. It seemed that that maid didn't receive punishment as far as Mao Mao's worry was concerned. As it was cold outside, the tea party was taken inside. The eunuchs were used to prepare a couch for the attendants in the parlor. There was a round table inlaid with mother of pearl. The curtains were changed to a new embroidered one. Honestly, they didn't pay this much attention when the emperor visited. But it seems, being women, they were squaring off against those of the same gender. The makeup was also imbued with a fighting spirit. Mao Mao's usual freckle makeup was cleared off. The corners of her eyes were lined in red for intimidation. Maybe it was wisdom for her age. Consort Gyokyo was talking constantly, and Consort Lishu did nothing else save nod timidly. The attendants who were waiting behind the young consort weren't looking at their own masters. Rather, They glanced around the room as if they were curious about the furniture in the Jade Palace. Only the food taster stood behind the consort in a way that she was facing Mau Mau. Before she had looked at Mau Mau, who had threatened her imploringly. This is somehow. She would prefer that these attendants and those from the Crystal Palace would stop treating her like a monster. They look like very normal maids at a glance. Mau Mau had previously reported to Gao Shun that they bullied their consort. It would be slightly troubling if she was mistaken, but that would be a happy thing. Mau Mau comparing them with a few select Jade Palace attendants with a peak, though their movements were slow, but they did their job. Well, since today's tea party host was Consort Gyokyo, their work itself was scarce. Aidan brought in a ceramic jar with hot water.
You like sweet things, right? Since it's cold today, I thought maybe we could have this.
I like sweet things.
The content of the jar was citrus peel boiled in honey. It warms the body and soothes the throat. Oh? Even though she just said she liked sweet things, Consort Lishu paled. The food taster, who was looking at the honey that was being poured in the bowl, also seems like she wanted to say something. Is honey no good? The attendants waiting at the back were saying nothing. They were just looking at Consort Lishu in amazement, as if to say, "Stop being picky." Mau Mau let out a breath and whispered into Consort Gyokyo's ear. Consort Gyokyo widened her eyes with an "Oh my," and called for Aidan.
I'm sorry. This looks like it needs a little more time to pickle. We took out the wrong thing. Can you drink ginger soup?
Yes, that's fine.
Her complexion somewhat returned to her. It seemed changing the tea was the correct answer. And so Mau Mau's guess, unfortunately, turned out to be true as well. Though it was for an instant, she met the gaze of the attendant who faced her with a look of boredom. Appearing in the evening was the usual beautiful eunuch. Close behind the celestial maiden's smile was Gaston. Recently, she thought the wrinkles on his brows have increased, but perhaps it increased no matter what he had.
You had a tea party with Consort Lishu, didn't you?
Indeed, it was fun. This eunuch seemed to rotate around the four madams at fixed intervals. Maybe he had the position of one who's supervised the inner palace. Today's tea party gathering was somehow strange. But it seems that this guy had been involved. Before she got caught in something troublesome, Mau Mau was going to withdraw from the room, but of course, she was stopped.
Shall we talk?
The talk is already over. Even if the celestial maiden's gaze was looking at her, Mau Mau could only lower her gaze at the floor. No doubt she was making the eyes of a dead fish.
You two get along with each other quite well.
Gyokyo-sama, it's good to massage around your eyes when you have eye strain. Because Consort Gyokyo was laughing so merrily, Mao Mao unintentionally replied with sarcasm. Not good, not good. She should restrict the rude remarks to Jinshi. Jinshi.
Did you hear that the perpetrator of the poisoning incident from the other day was the maidservant who committed suicide?
Mao Mao nodded. From his tone, it was clear he was talking to her, but not Consort Gyokyo. Consort Gyokyo looked like she noticed something and left the room herself. Remaining in the room was just Mao Mao, Jinshi, and Gaoshin. Did the perpetrator really commit suicide?
The one who decided that wasn't me.
The power of an influential person can change lies into truth. They didn't know who it was who laid down the decision, but Jinshi should have some considerable influence to do that.
As a mere maidservant, could there be a reason to poison the virtuous consort's dish?
I don't know myself. Jinshi smiled. He could use people aptly using that alluring smile. Unfortunately, it was ineffective on Mao Mao. Even if he did such a thing, she should know that she can't refuse if he ordered her.
Will you come to assist me at the Garnet Palace from tomorrow?
Even if he had phrased it as a question, what does that make? Mao Mao could only reply with, "By your will." And that's the end!
Yay!
Yay! Oh, so much narration! Too much! Too much!
I wish the chat could have seen all those last-second edits to the script.
I don't know what you're talking about. There was nothing of the sort. The script was finished a week ago.
It was perfect.
It was so perfect. I definitely wasn't typing it every time I caught the fact that I just missed a line. It's alright.
I thought, dude, the first time I thought I was crazy. I was like, oh wait, did I just not see that?
Wait. No, you're being actively gaslit.
I'm being gaslit. The script is gaslighting me.
Yep, that's
but
right.
for your own good.
Next time, I'm gonna put every single character just wrong, and then edit it last second. You gotta keep you guys on your toes.
Let me know how it turns out.
Roulette.
Good luck, children.
Mao Mao said.
It's narration battle royale.
Mao Mao said with the eyes of a celestial maiden. Hang on a minute, that doesn't sound right. Wait a second.
Oh, to Jinshi, she does have the eyes of a celestial maiden.
Jinshi wishes she had the eyes of a celestial maiden.
Her eyes are perfect.
No notes.
No notes. Thank you so much for the
Eat that up, no
goodies.
notes.
I appreciate it. Well, with that being said, I think that we're gonna end up for today. I appreciate everyone for coming. Thank you so much.
Yay!
Thank you.
Good times.
Goodbye, stream.
We are back to doing this every single Monday. I swear. I don't want to delay too many more of these. I miss it. I need to voice act more, and this is my excuse. So yeah, I promise we'll be back even more from every Monday from now. But yeah, other than that, thank you so much everyone for coming. I appreciate you all. Do remember that I will be back tomorrow afternoon for me with a Jeopardy stream. So if you haven't been to those are super fun. I love hosting them, and and I hope everyone enjoys watching them. But with that being
They're
said,
so peak.
they are. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.